So I operated a small business, which got shut down in March of 2020. And then we did get systematically reopened, little by little from, I think it was June 18th till today still. But obviously they did like the PPP program, and there was a lot of good state incentives or assistance that was available to businesses to handle the additional requirements and costs and whatever. So one of those federal programs, though, was through the Small Business Administration called COVID Emergency Disaster Emergency, whatever it is, EIDL loans. And I filled it out, and okay, I accepted one. And instead of depositing into the bank account I wanted, it went to the other business's bank account. And although the other business knew I operated both businesses, they just immediately rejected the funds. They didn't contact me or let me know. So check wasn't there, SBA saying it's there. I was like, hey, we got a problem. So we addressed the problem. That was October, I think, September, October 2020. And then for the next 2 years, I called, I don't know, in the beginning, every couple weeks. And then by 2021, I was calling basically, every other day for a while. And all I'd get is, please be patient, COVID. Hey, we're doing a lot. We got a lot of people we're working with, so you got to be patient. You're not the only one. Oh, of course, I understand. I understand. Nothing. So I reached out to my senator's office and I said, hey, here's the situation. Here's what I may have done wrong. If that's the case, let's figure this out and I can address it. If not, there's a big problem here because I'm getting told one thing every time I call and I'm never being contacted with any information. So we got issues. So I can't contact my senator directly, but one of his staff members responds, hey, I'll take care of it. He forwards me a response from the SBA saying, look, here's what we need from you. Get this in. We'll take care of it. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Even sent the follow-up to the staff member saying, this is amazing. You have no idea how much I've been dealing with. I'm so glad you helped. No response, but I just wanted to say it. That's what mattered. A month later, nothing. So I'm contacting the SBA and they're telling me, you're all good. They processed it. I contact my senator's office saying, look, I don't know what's going on. Can you reach out? He said, yeah, no problem. Reached back out. They said, yeah, we're working on it. We're processing it. Please be patient. COVID, we're doing everything we can. Okay. Wait another 4 weeks. Reach out to the senator's office. Same thing happens again. Finally, I guess 3 weeks later, I reached out again, didn't receive a response. So like a week or so later, June 2nd, I reach out to the senator's office, say, look, I haven't reached out and you ignored me for 2 weeks. What's going on? Can you help me still? And, oh, I'm so sorry. We've been really busy. Please be patient, COVID. Yeah, I'll contact them right now. Next day, he forwards me an email that says, thank you so much on behalf of Senator Robert Menendez's office. Looked into this. We closed this in February. Oh, wait a minute. This is June. So it's been, almost 4 months that you've been telling us you're working on it. You've asked for additional information. But now you're saying it was closed even before we ever reached out? So I'm expecting for me, this is great because I didn't expect him to fix it. I just want to let them know what was going on. And I expect the staff members going to be like, oh, I see the problem. Let me help. Nothing. He just forwarded it to me. So I replied with, hey, man, you see, this is what I've been going through for 2 years. This is crazy, right? Can you believe they're dealing with people this way? No response. I reached out again, like, hey, man, this is a problem. You've ignored me. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll reach out to them on your behalf again. I'm not asking you that. We've done that. That's over with. Now we're on to this thing. And did not get a response from him since. Tried to schedule a phone call with him. I asked him to please schedule it with me. He just called me out of the blue one day, didn't receive the call. He left a message. I called him back, never got in touch with him. Called him the next day, never got in touch. Finally, I emailed him again saying, this is why I want to schedule a call. Can we talk? Never heard from him again. During this time, I was already inspired and I petitioned the ballot to run for Congress because I know I like serving people. I know being a parent, conflict isn't as difficult. It's not. If everything you guys are telling us is true and you really just have positive intentions, then you trade between positive intentions for the people. It's not your own special interests or getting yourself paid that you negotiate against the other people's desire to help the people, right? That's kind of bullshit to do. So after the primary, I find out who my Democratic opponent is, and it's Senator Robert Menendez's son. So this district had been Democrat for 20 years. There's over 1 million people in the district. It's, high density area in North Jersey. And it's been decided, and the office has been won with like 100,000 votes, 70,000 votes. I think the max was like 120,000 votes, 130, whatever. But still, it's nowhere near. If you've got, 1.3 million people between Newark, Jersey City, Hoboken, West New York, Kearney, Elizabeth, and you're only getting 100,000 of them are voting for you. And surprise, surprise, this district, since redistricting, where they moved another Democrat congressperson to a new district, and this became vacant, it's only had a Democrat sit in the seat. And this is kind of concerning. So it was, hey, wait a minute. I know why I'm running. I want to help people, and I don't have the power to do that as an individual. I mean, I did. I operated my business. I did that. But you shut everything down, and yeah, that had a negative impact. Surprise. So I want to do this. And the son of a current senator who's been in office, in government office for like 34 years, and actually had his first party position at 19 years old. Now his son was moved into my district because he didn't live here, and he's going to be the new Democratic congressperson from New Jersey's 8th district. That's scary. That's bad. I met with a couple of the other third-party candidates, and it was basically, that was the reason they ran. I didn't know about that when I petitioned. But, hey, this is weird. I've reached out to the Republican Party. Nothing. There's no Republican Party presence up here. In the primaries, the Democrat Party had like 30,000 votes, which still 30,000 votes, over 1 million, maybe 1.5 million residents living in the area. And the Democrat primary was decided by 30,000 votes. The Republican primary was won with 2,000 votes. And even with all that, the Democrat primary, all their candidates, generated, I believe it was $1.3 million for the primaries by June 7th. 2022, they had $1.3 million. This is not a wealthy district. We've got a few very wealthy people, but the majority of us here are, the rent is getting priced out of our, income capacity. So it's like, oh my gosh, how much? That's crazy. How much did they spend during the 2020 election when the whole MAGA thing? They spent 450,000, something like that. Okay. Oh, yeah, the average that was ever raised for the winning candidate here, always a Democrat, was around $400,000. And now this midterm election, they're going to go over 2 million? That's weird. Okay, luckily this is all public information. So you go onto the website, you can look up from the Federal Election Commission who's given this money and where's it being spent. And wow, all of it's coming from outside of our district and it's being spent outside of our district. So it is literally, hey, we've got this district that has been Democrat since inception or revision, whatever you want to call it. So now we can move who we want in here. We know we're going to win. We already own this one. Nobody participates. So we got this. And we're going to move in the son of a current senator who, if he genuinely wanted to help the people, he would have his own personal time, ability, and finances. But he would also have the power of his father's office, so government assistance where it's applicable, and the Democrat donors who donate to his father and support their causes. So he could really have a ground level impact if he wanted. But obviously it's more important to have two Robert Menendez's in government from New Jersey. And then just last week, we find out that for the second time since 2015, one of the Senate offices from New Jersey is being investigated from the FBI because the power of the people's office is potentially being used for the personal gain of a few. We have to check this, right? Don't worry, because as silly as it sounds, I really do have absolute faith that the people are going to win this election.